Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me on December 31st. A year ago, on December 31st, Michelle Gibson was my guest for the first time, and we had a wonderful discussion. And you can look up that video there on my channel if you'd like to hear more of Michelle. She also joined me in the end of March for Friend a Tree Week that I do. And then she joined me a couple weeks ago on the solstice a few days ago. And so I love talking with Michelle and sharing that goodness with all of you. I had originally set well, hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining me. I had originally set the timing for this podcast on as later this evening. I usually do it at around 7 p.m. But at about, I don't know, 6 o'clock last night, I got a phone call from a neighbor, and she was having a New Year's Eve party and invited us over. So I had to switch it to this morning. And Janet, good morning. Good morning. And so today, I wanted to talk a little bit about I'm doing for the solstice, I'm doing the 13 Holy Nights Oracle cards. And so I wanted to just tell a little bit about it, I guess, or how I'm doing it. I really like it. The first night, which is the first 3 nights, I think it starts with solstice, and the first 3 nights are just kind of preparing mentally, which doesn't take a lot. At least for me, it didn't. But it was also gathering things that you might use or need during the time. And she gives a suggested short list of what you might want. And then it starts at sundown on the 24th, on Christmas Eve, and you draw 3 cards. The oracle deck is divided into 3 parts. One is the animal guides, then there is herbal guides, and then there is crystals. And so you draw one from each deck on the 24th, and then that is like the theme or the guidance for the entire year, the 2026 as a whole, the year as a whole. And then starting the next night until January 6th, until the 13 nights are done, then you shuffle all the cards into one full deck and just draw 1 card each night, and for 12 nights, and that represents each card then represents 1 month. So the first, like Christmas, that represented January, and so on. And so my husband is doing it with me, and we're let's see. Last night we drew for the month of June, and so we have a few nights left, of course. And the first couple nights, I didn't notice much synchronicity or things during the daytime. But the last 3 or 4 nights, there is lots of synchronicities, or I should say, not as much as so many synchronicities, but the depth of the synchronicities is growing, is very cool. And so for today, I wanted to draw one from each of the three parts, the animals, the herbs, and the crystals, and have that be our guidance for this year. And we won't do the individual months. But I wanted to start by taking 2 or 3 deep breaths to be calm and centered. I don't know about you, but because of, I guess, my personality, I'm kind of driven to really be super focused kind of on what I'm doing at the time. And like lots of us grew up, at least with the old story, with the old mindset of having to prove myself good enough. And then the other thing is that I had some traumas. We all have traumas in our lives, but especially in young childhood. And those affect us greatly our whole lives until we learn what they are, how they're working, and can work on releasing those and going in the direction that we want to go. And so, because of the traumas early in my life, in gestation, when I was in the womb yet, and then I had a trauma at 3 year old, and so I have found that I am in fight or flight an awful lot. It's real low grade, very low grade. A lot of people that aren't really tuned into how their body's feeling or things wouldn't notice it at all, as I didn't notice it until the last several years, and it just I get it quieted, and then a few minutes later or an hour or two later, then I stop and pause and I notice it's back again. And I know other, like Dr. Sue Morter, who's a chiropractor and an energy worker, has said that she finds that there's a lot of people that adrenal rush of the fight or flight, they were in it so long and so often that it never shuts off. And so I know I've been working on breath work and, of course, on biofield tuning and meditation, to calm it. I've been using Jitsun Jitsu, the holding of the different fingers for certain lengths of time, to because the meridians all come to your fingertips, and so that's working on that. And and I, everything's helped a little bit, I'm certain, but this year, um, what I have found in my, I guess, in doing these 13 holy nights and the way that the cards that I have drawn are shaping, it helps you set that intention of what you want for the new year. And the deck is by Laura J. Day, and she warns kind of to be careful what you wish for, because it will come. So you need to be clarified. You need to really not listen inside to your inner self to find out what it is that intention is that you want to work on. And just as I explained, for because of traumas that I've had and just how my life was shaped, I've I've been very serious and very focused and kind of driven, I guess, in ways, and improving myself, etc. And I want to be happy. That's my intention for the new year. And I know it doesn't really work to pursue happiness. Um, but I'm pursuing it in this way, in calming my nervous system, in getting out of that fight or flight mode. So that's not my go to anymore. I'm going to be working on that to calm and quiet my my mind, so that I can deeply hear my spirit, deeply hear that those inner child within me, the creativity and playfulness that we all feel as children, and that most of us kind of outgrow or put on the shelf because of our adult lives and things. And so I'm going to be um, working on that, calming my mind, hearing my spirit, hearing my inner child, and taking the steps to bring that creativity and playfulness and my um, heart's desires into fruition. And in that way, I know I'll find the type of happiness that I've wanted all my life. And so, anyway, that's me. And so we're going to go ahead and start here. But I want you guys to help me by holding the intention of, let's finding the card that's right for all of us that are going to listen to this recorded or live. And so Laura gives in the book, she gives several different ways that you can use to draw cards. So even if you're not um, sensitive to the energy or chi moving within you or around you, that there's guidance that will help you. And I know this works because, like, when I usually draw a card for myself, I just do the whole spread out and can put my hands over it and definitely find the one I meant to find. But my husband isn't as sensitive to the energy or chi, and or at least he has not yet tapped into that abundance within himself of feeling into that sensitivity to it. And so I picked one of the ways that she describes to have both of us do it that way, to choose. I'm doing my cards and he's doing his cards. And for each of us to tap into that chi spirit. So I picked what I thought was the easiest one. And so um, you guys can go with me and figure on how we're going to or I should say focus on picking the right card through me, right? And so I'm taking just the animal guides sections and I'm dividing it in two. And you probably I'm just going to show you both like this, and I'm going to set it down on my computer in two piles, and then I'm going to place my right hand over it on one side and ask, is this the card for us today? Is it in this pile? And you it helps you learn to feel into the very slight responses in your body, right? And so I'm asking now the other, my hands over the other pile, and I'm saying, is my card for January, if for 2026 in this pile? And it is. Definitely, I feel drawn to it. I feel a positive flow. Um, the pile, if it's not the pile that you're being guided to, then you might not necessarily feel a constriction, although you can feel a constriction or a cooling off, or even just a nothing, right? Whereas with the positive, you'll feel something slight. You might feel a lot of times it's like a smile comes to my face. Um, that's the first thing I notice. It's like, oh, like that. It's not necessarily, ah, this is it. Sometimes it acts that way, but other times it's like just a gentle, yeah, this is for me. So anyway, I'll put the other part, and then we take this part that this deck was in and we divide it in two. Okay, and we'll put that down into two piles, and I'll put my hand over the first one, and I feel it that way in that deck. So I'm just going to go in the other one, and definitely there's kind of a constriction or resistance there. And so we'll divide this pile into twos. And I'll put my hand over, and again, please hold that intention with me that we'll find it. Definitely, I was drawn fast to that one, and and again, a little resistance in the other one. Okay, so now I'm down to just two here. I mean, I have three cards. There's one in one pile and two in the other, and so energy's moving here. I'm yawning, clearing, putting my hand down on the first one. That's not it. That's it. Okay, and the one that was it was the one that was just one card. And the card we drew together for 2026 is the beaver. If you can see that, these are beautiful, beautiful cards. And I understand that this year she came out with a revised deck with I don't know if it's new things in it or just refined guidance or things, but that would be very good too. A close friend of mine gifted me this set for my birthday last year. And so anyway, I'm going to look at this one, and um, To me, to be in this pose like this, I can't do that. You would have to be in balance, I think. Physical, you'd have to have your physical strength. You'd also have to have your mental strength to train your muscles to do that. And so that's what this card speaks to me about. And there's the beaver in the water, but what caught my eye was the cymatics, I guess you could say, or the rippling effects around the beaver as spreading out into the year. And so I'll read about the beaver here. Uh, Here we go. So the beaver is about discipline, family and home, working together, and continual growth. And the beaver is the builder, the hard worker, the industrious doer of the animal kingdom. In fact, her name has become synonymous with those traits to say that someone is beavering away. I haven't heard of that before, but I'm sure it said somewhere that they are working hard and steady. Beaver keeps herself busy felling trees with her enormous razor-like front teeth, which self-sharpen and grow continually. She and her family work tirelessly damming rivers and streams. Beavers are extremely family oriented, lifelong, monogamous mates living together with up to 10 of their offspring. The older siblings stick around for about 2 years, learning and refining their engineering skills and helping with the family duties. Um, it reminded me of I'm studying feng shui to be a feng shui consultant. I didn't get as far during 2025 as I had expected to because my old house takes a lot of work. And I found out I needed a lot of work. And they go together as you work on the house. It symbolizes your life, you as a person. And so that was it was just took a long time. And then winter came and it got too cold to do a lot of the painting or things like that, the other work that's needed. And so I'm just doing lessons right now and finishing up a few details, and I'll finish sometime during 2026. It's like the universe had other plans for me and to, I guess, make all the changes that I didn't know that I needed, but I knew the house needed changes. Then um, to do all of them all at once might be way too much, right? And so if the beaver waddled into your holy nights, it's time to get to work. Beaver is urging you to get up off the couch and take active steps toward your goals, to do your chores, to make time for self care, meditation, gardening, or whatever it is in your life that requires daily discipline. Beaver knows that once you get past the initial hurdle of resistance, the going gets easier and momentum will carry you right along. Beaver also knows that working together with friends or family can lighten your load and your mood as you work away. Beaver says whistle while you work and find yourself a buddy or 10 to whistle with. Working together with others is not only energizing, but the resulting encouragement, feedback, accountability, camaraderie, and support are invaluable. And with Beaver swimming around in your holy nights, in your year ahead for 2026, you may find that during this time you are unusually drawn to house cleaning. That would take a lot for me. Home improvements, that's what I'm drawn to. Projects, decluttering, redecorating, or just attending to your home space in general. In fact, Laura writes, I personally found it absurdly difficult to write about Beaver, as moments after I sat down to contemplate this furry friend, she hopped back up and began compulsively emptying cupboards and reorganizing her entire living space. Beaver highlights for us the importance of having and creating a home space where we feel safe, comfortable, and at peace. Our home should allow us to let our guard down and exhale. And note that it's not just Beaver's front teeth that grow incessantly. Beaver herself never stops growing throughout her 24 or so year life. Her message is clear. Keep growing, keep working, keep building, keep creating, keep moving, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep learning. Just keep on going until it's time to go. And she quotes Albert Einstein, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." So Beaver is asking you, what next? What comes next? Beautiful. And as it talked about doing things, having camaraderie, having someone to do things with to help support us. Um, Maybe this oracle card reading, I do one each month at that's closest I can get to the first of the month, the first week of each month. Maybe that can be part of the camaraderie that we share. And okay, it's time to go on to the next one. There was something about the home. That's what I'm learning in feng shui, that the home represents our lives. And the big thing, feng shui isn't so much about having everything perfectly in its place. So someone would walk in and take your pictures to put of your home to put in a magazine that it looks so glamorous or perfect or whatever. It's about surrounding yourself with things that you love, only the things that you love. And the things that you put in your house need to be determined by about three factors. One is that it needs to be safe. It needs to be comfortable, or what you love. And it needs to be there needs to be something in every room that sparks the interest of a toddler, that somehow brings up that creativity, that inner child of exploration, of continually learning, continually asking. And all together, when your home has all done the feng shui in every room, and everything is safe, you're surrounded by things you love, your inner child is active, then this is the happiness that I'm seeking. It's that when you feel safe, when you feel loved, when you feel interested or focused in the present moment, like the child is, then then you'll be happy. Because that guard, that like I was talking about, the fight or flight, then will calm and quiet because you feel safe. That's root chakra energy, right? Because you feel safe, because your mind is calm, you're not those old um, subconscious patterns aren't continually running, and you're worried or scared what's going to fall on you next. You don't feel that with your mind. It's running your subconscious. That's me. I'm speaking from me, from my inner child, from the traumas I had when I was little. And so there's something in my subconscious that keeps that running. And it wasn't just from the big traumas that set the stage to feel that way, and create the old subconscious pattern, were childhood traumas. But because I was in that, I had fight or flight in many, many things during my life, in my teenage and adulthood years. There was like constant traumas going on. Not all great big traumas, but a lot of them were big. And so this, having your home be safe and full of the things you love, and your inner child active and focused in the present moment, and creative and things, this calmness, this safeness will reset your nervous system, calm your mind, ground you, so then you can much more fully let your inner child out, let your dreams of your spirit surface, and begin to, like Beaver, then take those steps to bring those into fruition. And as I have finished the feng shui training and things, I'll be talking about more of that during the year and after that, because um, it's good. That's all. That's all. And so we'll go on to the next set. Like I said before, if you weren't here to start with, the 13 Holy Nights is what we're going on. And it's by Laura J. Day. And it's for use over the solstice. And the deck of oracle cards is divided into three parts. One is the animal guides, and that's what we just did. We pulled the beaver. And now we're going to be doing the herbs. Nope, this is the crystals next. So I'll switch and do the herbs here. Here's the herbs. And so we'll do those next. And each of you listening, please hold the intention that the intentions for all of us for the 2026 here, you help me draw the right one that will draw for each of you that will ever watch this. And so even if you're not good at doing cards or you don't feel you're pulled to energies and stuff, we're doing this in one of the very simple ways that Laura writes in the book. And you take, for this exercise, we're doing just the separate parts of the animal, the herb, and the crystal. And so now we just have the herbal parts. I divided them into two piles here. And this is, if you do an oracle card of your own at home, that's how a simple way you can get started to feeling how you can. We are made to be sensitive to the feel of energies, and so I'm going to place my right hand over one, and you look in your body, you feel for any resistance of any kind, or coolness, or even if it's not resistance, it's like blankness, nothing there. And then I'll put my hand on the other one, and right away I feel a warming, a smile. It's like a grounding energy there for me. So I found the right pile there, and then I'm going to divide that in half. And put my hand again over one. Sometimes you might have to feel like put your hand back and forth a couple times, or pause, take your hand down, take a deep breath or two, and then go back. But again, I felt drawn to this pile. And then, so there's three cards left. And so I'll put two in one pile and one in the other. And I'll put my hand over one. And we'll ask, is this the card for 2026? And yes, it was. It feels like, and I'll put, and definitely there was resistance when I went to this pile. So the card we drew for the herbs is Meadowsweet. And I'm not as familiar, there we go, with Meadowsweet. I do a lot of medicinal herbs and a lot of flowers. This isn't one I'm real familiar with, but I hope to grow it this next year. Meadowsweet. And so, to me, it almost looks like a bride, right? It makes me think of a bride with the flowers in her hair, with the carrying those little flowers in her bouquets. It looks like she has a pretty fancy dress in too. It's interesting here. She's holding her hands in an interesting way, as if thoughtful, or watching out for something, the way she's watching for something that's over there when she's right here. So we'll see what the guidance says. Meadowsweet. Here we go. Meadowsweet is about the inner queen. Okay, not a bride, a queen. Self-confidence, self-worth, self-respect. Don't we all need that? Meadowsweet is revered as a sacred plant by the Druids of ancient Celtic cultures, and has been called Lady of the Meadow, Pride of the Meadow, and Meadow Queen. She was bedecked in her robe of delicate, graceful, creamy white blossoms, and it's easy to see why she would be called that. Meadowsweet's magic aids us in finding our own inner royalty, our grace, our composure, our confidence that blossoms when we believe or know, have the knowing in our inner self, where we claim our own inherent goodness, worthiness, value, and divinity. Our inner queen is majestic, charismatic, regal, audacious, fair, wise, respected, and respectful. She rules over her own body, her heart, and her mind with composure, wisdom, compassion, and grace. She is not in competition with the world, for she is not in competition with herself. She takes responsibility for herself, her own story, her choices, and her life. If Meadowsweet's divine almond fragrance has drifted into your holy nights, it is time to crown your inner queen. You are overdue to release all self doubt and self criticism that is keeping you from taking center stage in your own life. Now is a good time to quit playing it small. Place an invisible, jewel encrusted crown on your head and own it. Walk, talk, and move through your life like royalty. You are worthy. You are capable. You are powerful. You are magnificence embodied. Step into the light, your own light, and be seated upon your own throne. Lovely, lovely, lovely. A message that I need, that many of us need. The world pushes the masculine and the feminine. It discredits both, right? And it trains women to live in ways that are not our natural best interest, right? Our natural things that we're best at. And it trains men in different ways that aren't helpful for them either, or for the. So when you get the two misguided parts together in a relationship, there's lots of list of problems, right? Unless you're both working on crowning your true inner queen, right? Or your inner king as the masculine. And so now we'll go on to the crystal deck. So again, I've divided the deck in two. And if you would again hold the intention that we find what's meant for this group of whoever will watch this oracle reading. And that's a resistance, definitely a resistance to that. And it's the definite and drawing of interest of that, almost that inner childhood wondering what's here for me. So I'll take that half of the deck and split it in half and put my hand over one. And that feels, see, can you see automatically? It's like I'm driven, I'm guided to, it's like a warming, a smile when it's, and again, just a slight resistance there of no, not now, right? And so I have 3 cards left here, and also I'll put 1 in one and 2 in another, and we'll put our hands over my energy clearing here to help guide me. That card's not it. So the other deck had 2, so I'll divide those in half. That's it. And that's not. So the one we drew is charoite. I'm not familiar with this crystal either. I have a lot of crystals, but charoite, charoite, charoite. Beautiful. It's deep purple colors and like water running through it, right? Energy running through it. It could symbolize money. Water symbolizes money as well. So we'll go to the crystal section of the book. Here we go. Charoite is about service, finding one's gift, seeing the richness in our wounds. Intensely purple charoite is named for the extraordinary river where she is found, the icy and turbulent Shara River, which flows down from the Kodar mountain range in Siberia. Charoite's deep purple and lavender hues swirl and blend so magnificently with streaks of black and flecks of gold that she almost looks like the background of a Van Gogh painting. Her rich and complex beauty mirrors the astounding complexity of humanity. Every piece of Charoite, just like each and every human being, is exquisitely unique. In the entire history of humanity, from our distant past to our distant future, there has never been or ever will be another you. Just pause and let that sink in. Our signature matrix, our personal hum in the universe, is our miracle, our magnificent, our very special contribution to all of existence. If Charoite has gifted you with her penetrating purple presence during these holy nights, it is time for you to give to the world the gift that only you yourself can give, which is you, your fullness, right? From your heart's, your spirit's desires. Charoite is inviting you to look at the world around you with these questions in mind. How can I serve? What unique gift can I offer? What can I contribute that no one else can? What can I and only I give to this life, these people surrounding me, this place, this plane, or this existence? It doesn't have to be something big or mind-blowing. It could be as simple and priceless as your unique version of compassion and caring. Sorry, this is really tearing me up. Given to a friend, compassion or caring given to a friend or a stranger. And then the ripple effect in the world because of how you affected one person. If you are having a difficult time figuring out what your gift is, here's the hint. Look to your wound, the places where we have struggled, where we have been hurt, where we have experienced pain and loss. These places are often our greatest source of wisdom. And Joseph Campbell had said, where you stumble, there your treasure is. And like with me, I was talking about how the traumas made me feel scared, and then I felt sad because the fear made me feel separated, and then I felt sad because I felt separated, and I also carried a lot of the sadness from my ancestors, and how in doing these 13 holy nights for myself over this solstice time, I had found the clarity needed to see that my gift at this time in my life is for me to truly be happy, and that happiness to be achieved by feeling the safeness, security, being surrounded with things I love, to calm my mind, to get out of any of the fight or flight that is so low grade and chronic that it's hard to notice at times. It goes overlooked. And then how that allows that safety and security and calmness then allows my inner child and the curiosity and the creativity and the playfulness to come out. And that is my gift at this time to give. And it's beautiful to me. So those are our cards today from the 13 Holy Nights to give guidance for the year. And you can come back to this one if you want to or need to refresh your mind during the year of what was the guidance. So we have the beaver of steadily working, of always working, looking for what comes next, always learning, right? Then we have the crowning yourself your inner queen of your own life with the confidence and grace and worthiness that we are meant to embody because we are made of source. And then the Charoite then of what that gift is that we can give alone. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a Happy New Year's Eve tonight, whether you're by yourself or you're with friends or in public. And blessed Happy New Year tomorrow, and a blessed 2026. And if you don't have anything, or if you want to make room in your schedule for Saturday, this coming Saturday, January 3rd at 4 p.m. Central Time, we'll be doing the old world energy grid tuning to activate, amplify, restore, repair, and reconnect all the parts of the grid to raise the voltage of the universe, of raise our voltage, and help restore the parts of the world the way it was meant to be for our lives going forward. So thank you again. I need to get out of big picture mode here, and there we go. See if there's any comments I need to. Oh, busy as a beaver. Yep. Let's see. Janet had her favorite crystal. Thank you for listening, Kathy. And Kathy says, Happy New Year to everyone. And Kathy will be joining us for the energy grid tuning on Saturday for the first time. And so I'm looking forward to meeting her kind of almost in person. And Sal Padilla, thank you for joining us too. I appreciate you being here. And Janet, as always, much love to you. So thank you all, and hope to see you Saturday night. And if not, then try to make it to or listen at some point to the oracle card reading for each month as we go through 2026 to kind of have this camaraderie and receive guidance together. So I love you. Bye-bye.